Okay, hopefully this is going to work right. We shall see. Um, well, kind of up there a ways. Okay, anyway, I helped a friend out the other day. He had bought this nice, maybe 2 acre plot of land with a house on it. And for whatever reason, he hasn't been able to get the grass cut in the short time he's had it. Uh, It started out as anywhere between knee high all the way up to, on me in a few spots, chest high. And the lawnmower he had, some of you may remember years ago they had, it looks like a cross between a weed eater and a lawnmower. It has a lawnmower engine and everything, but it uses the weed eater string to cut your grass. And it's designed for areas where you have like a lot of fence posts and so on. Anyway, he had, I guess it came with the house or something, but he couldn't get it to work right. Uh, the belt, come to find out, was pretty well wore out, and there was no way to tighten it up to where we could make it work right. And to fix that, I would have to take the thing halfway apart just to get the belt off so I could replace it. So anyway, I I turn around and I'm like, you know what? We got to get this cut, and we don't have a lot of time to play around. So I just went and bought a push mower to use just for this job, you know. And over about, it took me 2 days, a couple hours one day because I had stuff I had to do as well, and a couple hours the second day to get all the grass cut. Then went back and raked it up, and he has his daughter, I guess it is, she's living there, and she's vegetarian. She doesn't eat a lot of meat. She doesn't eat meat at all, actually. So she's wanting to plant a garden. I've been wanting to plant a garden too, but where I'm at, I don't have that option. I don't get that choice because there's nowhere to do it really. So we discussed it and we worked out a deal. You know, I'm going to come over there and help get everything planted, plant some, pay for some of the plants. She's going to pay for some of the plants, and we're going to make a big garden out of part of the property. It'll be about half-acre property. We'll have garden on it, and I'm going to enjoy this. But anyway, she we discussed this yesterday and worked it all out. So today, or last night, I went out and bought some plants for this, and or I bought the seeds anyway, and some seed trays to get started and everything, stuff I would need to get going. And anyway, I sitting inside, I'd set some plastic down on the floor in the living room so I could start putting dirt in the planters and do it. And I did some of them, and I'm like, well, I should be putting this on YouTube, you know, people might be interested. So I went ahead and did that, or got it started anyway. And I went ahead and I brought the ones that I've done down here. It's got seeds in them, everything. I'm planting watermelon, tomatoes, onions, all sorts of vegetables that are good and healtty, stuff that I know she'll use as well as I'll use. Uh, I've just done one stack of, or one pack of the seed trays, and doing good there. But I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do so that y'all kind of understand what I go through when I'm doing stuff like this, and as well as you all can be informed on how to do it for yourselves as well. Um, First thing I did, I got some good soil. Okay, they recommend a seed starter mix for what I'm doing. Problem with the seed starter mix is it's much more expensive, and it's a much finer soil, which isn't a bad thing. It's more of a potting soil than anything. So I got specifically a garden mix for vegetables and seasonings or spice plants like cilantro, stuff like that. Okay, it's a compost mix that hasn't broke down fully, so it'll still continue bringing lots of nutrients into the dirt as it continues to break down while the plant's starting to grow in it. It will work just fine for this. It'll work better than, in my opinion, better than a seed starting mix because it's a better soil mixture. Uh, Problem is, the lady I'm doing this for, or I'm working with on this, she wants to use organic fruits and vegetables, is what she wants. And a lot of people don't understand what organic means. They think, oh, well, organic means you're using organic soil. All soil is organic, okay? Unless you put pesticides in it. Then you're no longer organic, okay? In the garden I'm setting up, I'm not going with anything special. I'm not going with organic seed packs for the most part. There's some that all they had was organic, which is kind of funny, which means the plant it came from was grown organically, no pest control used. To be organic with no pest control, and you still need to control your pests, you use other plants that control pests, things that will control the pest without putting chemicals into the soil. And that includes chemical fertilizers. You can use a natural fertilizer like cow dung. I'm trying to keep it clean because YouTube will ding me on that. But anyway, for the natural pest controls, because I'm going to be using onions anyway, I'm going to plant onions around the outside edge of the garden, and that will help keep pests out of the garden. And I'll probably kind of mix them in some in certain areas as long as I can keep them, several feet away from the actual plants, maybe, and go with that. And I know I'm going to lose my signal occasionally on this because our internet is screwy. I'm going to enjoy having fresh vegetables to eat. I like to have omelets, but it gets rather expensive when you're buying a lot of vegetables to put in the omelet. So this is going to help me be able to eat omelets. I'm going to be able to eat healthier. Fruits, it's actually the property next door is where the tree is located, but it hangs over the fence. There's a fig tree there. Some of the branches are over the fence, and we can get fresh figs from that. There's actually 2 apple trees on the property, and I think she wants to get some pear trees, peach trees, stuff like that. So we have a mixture of fruits and vegetables growing there. We discussed if we have enough space putting in a couple of grapevines and having grapevines growing there, and that'd be a good deal. So we're going to see what happens with that. But all in all, we're trying to make it so that she can eat healthier, easier. At the same time, I can go ahead and eat healthier, easier, because I don't have to spend as much on fruits and vegetables. But back to what I was saying about the soil. I bought a bag. It's actually Miracle-Gro mix. Put this down a little bit where you can see. I just put this in a little bucket because the bag had been sitting on a pallet for a long time, and it was compressed into a block basically. And I kind of broke it up some in the bag and then dumped it in here, and I've been working with it, just breaking up all the clumps to make it easier to use. And I mean, you can see right here this is what I'm talking about. I mean, it's somewhat solid, but the soil is still damp. So it's a good soil, and it's promoting the breakdown of the whatever was mixed in there. A combination of some soil, there's sticks, wood where they've ground up wood chips and everything and mixed it in, and it's going to be a very healthy soil mix. So it will be worth it. As far as the soil preparation there, we're spraying down, it's by Ortho, it's one of their weed killers. It kills all greenery. But within a couple of days, it's safe to plant new plants there because it's no longer going to kill them. But we're spraying the whole area down with that, and then we're going to come back and spray the I'm going to rototill the area to get rid of any remainder of the grass. But it'll work out good. I got to borrow somebody's rototiller. I got a guy I'm going to talk to. He's a friend of mine, and see if I can't get one of his because he has 2 or 3 of them. Okay, I'm going to turn you all around so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, kind of messy in here, unfortunately. I'm going to have to move some stuff around to make this work. And of course, I can't see what you all can see, so I'm going to be working blind for a little while as far as that goes. Now, here's the pots I'm using. Okay, basic pots, easy to work with. You can actually just drop them into the ground with the plant in it. Just dig a little hole and put your planter in it, and you're good to go. So that works out decent. Dang it. My marker came loose. See, they didn't give me any kind of marker for the plants, so I can mark what's in each one. So you can use just about anything. You can get these plastic strips and write with a Sharpie on it what's in the planter. And then just stick one in each tray. These aren't always the easiest to separate. Sometimes they don't want to come apart at all. So you may tear one occasionally. That's fine. It ain't going to hurt it. There's that one. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll fill this cup up with a scoop of the dirt. Just kind of sprinkle it in. Key thing to remember is you want the soil up to almost the very top of the pot setup. You just kind of take your hand and just kind of work it around and lightly spread the dirt out so that all openings are full. Now this one here already had a seed growing in it from something. I'm kind of curious what it is, but I'm not going to keep it in there because it's probably grass seed or something. So let's see, I got tomatoes, I got onions. I'm trying to think of what all plants I have planted. But I do have a lot of work to do right now because the next couple of weeks are kind of hectic. But we shall see what happens. I will be taking the occasional day and running that. You know what I'll do? I'll go onto my YouTube app. And get out of that. I don't know what we're doing. Okay, now I can see what you all see. I just pulled it up on my phone. Anyway, yeah, too much going on. Now you'll make a mess on the on your workshop table if you're doing it in a workshop or a garage, whatever. Doesn't matter. It can be cleaned up very easily. And it's like that. I'm already done with filling them full of dirt. Now what I can do, because I got so much extra dirt in there, so I can't hardly see the tops of them, just take my hand, scrape it off over the edge back in my bucket. Makes it very, very easy to clean it up. So now that's done. Let's see what kind of seeds I want to put in this one. Lots of these planters here. I got enough for, I think it said it does 50 plants per box. So that's 51, 150. I got enough for 200 plants. Now, let's see, what do I want to plant next? Okay, let's see. How about some cherry tomatoes? Now, on the package, reading it, it says it's a annual 6-foot plant with 1.5 ounce fruits. So it says they should be trellised. We can get away with using whatever. I've got plenty of wood. I can make trellis if I need to. And I'm looking at the planting time, and I'm almost out of my planting time frame. So now, unbelievably, it doesn't say how far apart they should be planted. So I'm just going to dump some of the seeds into my hand. I'll just kind of sprinkle a couple in over each of these. And I know I'll have multiples coming up in each one. That's fine because you can thin it out if too many come up. I usually try to get 2, maybe 3 seeds per a square. And that gives me a chance to choose which ones I'm going to keep and pull the rest. What I'll do is I'll pull the hardier looking of the ones that come up out of there. That's the best way to have the strongest plants. And you usually do that after about a week. And you'll be good. Now I have one seed go bounce over into one of the others that's not going to hold tomatoes. So I just had to pick that. And then all I do is I just kind of tamp them in a little, just lightly, so they're just not completely covered, just the soil is kind of disturbed to kind of nestle them in. Sorry about that. Been a long time since I had a garden. Make sure nobody's sending messages. Okay. Now, normally at this point, I would go ahead and water the planter trays, but I'm not going to do that yet. Now for the markers, I'm just cheating and using the cardboard that this was wrapped up in. Clean up this edge. Dang it. And I'll just write tomatoes on it, or cherry tomatoes, whatever I want. In this case, because it's cherry tomatoes, I'm going to put C, indicating cherry, and then tomato. Okay. And then I'll just trim the height of it a little bit so it's not so tall, and shove it down into the dirt on the side. And yeah, the cardboard will get wet and kind of mess up, which is to be expected. Okay. So you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, my handwriting's not the best, but hey, it'll do what I need it to do, so. Okay, there's that. Now, that was a container of 2 containers of cherry tomatoes, whole thing of the seeds. So I'll just toss that aside for now. Let's see, what else do I want to plant today? Or start planting. Cucumbers, cilantro, cantaloupes. I've already done beefsteak tomatoes. Got plenty of those. I'm going to probably be sending seeds back to the store, but hey, what can you do? We'll do some bell peppers. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pull one more tray down here and put dirt in it and get it prepped and put bell peppers in it as well. This will be the first year I've done a garden in a long time. I do mean a long, long time. Dang it. There. Now on the day I go to put this into the ground, I'm going to try and get some live footage for you. It just depends on what happens that day. Anyway, so we got plenty of soil in there now. See what the bell peppers say. These are supposed to be some big bell peppers. So we shall see. It says they get up to between 7.5 to 8 inches on each bell pepper, so we're going to see. And they're supposed to be kind of sweet. Let's see what they're saying. Okay, oops, didn't want to do that. plenty of bell peppers, that's for sure. Now on the bell peppers, one seed to the planter as much as possible. Sometimes you'll get two in there. That ain't going to be a killer deal on it. And yes, starting a garden can be a little monotonous, but hey, it'll be worth it. Dang flies. Now where I'm putting these, I keep the light on 24 hours a day. So they will get plenty of light. And it's the bulbs I use, they're the compact fluorescents that are, or LEDs even, in some cases, that are daylight in color range, or color temperature as they call it. So, what's going on here? Why are you doing this? There we go. For some reason, my phone, I don't know what it is, it happens to everybody it seems that has phone, is on my internet. The internet drops sometimes. And the phone, I don't know why, will not reconnect to the Wi-Fi when that happens on its own. You have to tell it to reconnect before it will. And it's like, why should I have to tell it to reconnect to the internet? What it's done is it's still connected to the Wi-Fi, but yet it's not automatically reconnecting for the internet itself. So now I shouldn't have covered the last one I did, because now I don't know if I put one in one of them or not. Certain in the one I just put, first one I put one in, should I say? But okay, some dirt on top of it. That'll be easier. I'm just picking up a little bit of the dirt off the side and sprinkling it over the top of the seeds. Okay, now, so that's that. Now I will take and make a couple of tabs to stick in the soil for these. I'm just going to put GB or green bell. Okay. But I figured y'all might be interested in seeing this and seeing how I do it. Now, take that one, put it into that soil there. And I'll get this one. Mark it. Okay, now I don't have my watering can in here, so I can't water them yet. I have to go get some water. But sorry about the view. Anyway, I wanted to let y'all see how I did this kind of stuff. Figured you might enjoy it. Um, I want to do a live video when I go to put these in the ground. But my problem right now is going to be the only thing I have that can do that or have that capability is my my phone. So I have to be careful about that because right now my data starts on fresh on the 14th of the month, and I get 10 gigs of data. So I'll have to see if I can't get you taken care of on download or doing a live video on that. If I can't get a live video done, I'll go ahead and do a oh, I'll have to see if I can't set you guys up with just a recorded video and post that instead. I see I've got another viewer. Thank you for tuning in. Unfortunately, I'm about to end the video. Oh, Tech Exchange. I know them on Facebook. It's a group. They're nonprofit, and what they do is, if you have an old desktop computer or a laptop computer that you don't want anymore, but it still works, you donate it to them. They take it, clean it up, make sure everything's good, refurbish it, and turn around and they give it to people that don't have much money. They're on disability, food stamps, have a child in the Oakland School District, whatever. So anyway, last weekend they had an event, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get another computer because, you know, I qualify for it. And what I do is, if I can't use that computer, I'll give it to somebody else I know who could use it, and you know, I've done my thing. Because maybe they didn't get to go. I have one family here didn't get to go and check it out. They were already headed out to do something and didn't make it back in time. So anyway, yeah, I get it up to the house. I'm gonna check it out and see what it's about, see how good it is, see if it's worth keeping or giving away, and get rid of a little bit slower one. So I pulled it up, set it up and everything, get it running, and log into or go to try and play a game on there, and it uses the Adobe Flash Player. Okay, the computer doesn't have it preloaded, but it'll set it up where you can go and get it on your computer. So I do that. Okay, I put my Firefox on there, which is my default browser. That's what I use on anything I have. Even when I'm giving a computer to somebody, I set it up with Firefox because I don't like Google Chrome. I don't like Google much at all, really, but hey. Anyway, so I set it up with Firefox. I go on there to play my game, and it just sits there and flashes at me. The screen just sits there and flashes, can't do nothing because of it. Don't know what's going on there. Another issue I had, the CD-ROM tray kept opening on its own. It wouldn't stay closed. And that indicates that the motherboard's bad, because I've had that happen before. There's chances the CD-ROM itself is bad, but doubtful. So anyway, I played with it for a while, and finally I'm like, you know what, forget it. I tried Google Chrome. It would the screen wouldn't flash when the game loaded up on it, but it would sit there and it kept crashing, letting the game crash. So it wouldn't even play the game at all. But the game's online over it's through Facebook, Zynga Games game. But anyway, so it's useless. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't do anything until today. I got this Saturday. So today, I go ahead and, since they give you a warranty card on it, it's an under warranty for a year, I went ahead and pulled it up or pulled up how to access the warranty per their paperwork they give you. It tells you to go to their website. I go on there and it's got a contact us phone number. And I go ahead and call that number. And I don't know who this guy was there, but he has got to be the stupidest person in the world. And I'm telling him, okay, you guys had an event this weekend at the East Oakland Library where you're giving away the free computers. And I went there and got this computer. It's under warranty. I got the paperwork for it and everything. And this is what's going on. Oh, well, it doesn't have a warranty because you didn't pick it up from our store. Yes, it does. It was one of your events. I mean, I went round and around with him, and I'm really getting ticked at his attitude. And really what it amounted to is he didn't want to be the one to have to take care of it. So finally I said, you know what, screw you, hung up on him, and I went onto their Facebook page, and I stated what had happened. And it was in their advertisement for what their event that happened Saturday. It was them saying what happened, posting a few pictures. And the person was actually really polite that responded on there from their agency, apologized for what had happened, the fact that the computer was having issues, and explained to me that there's nothing they could do until Saturday when they were open. Well, Saturday, I've got stuff I've got to do. So now I have to take time out of what I'm supposed to be going and doing Saturday to go over to where their office is and drop the computer off and see if they can't fix it. I shouldn't have to do this, but yet I do. So I'm not too happy about that, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. But it's just aggravating. I'm supposed to be helping a friend of mine Saturday go to where they used to live and the storage unit that they put a bunch of their stuff in, load my truck down, and bring it back here so they can have it here. Because they got a lot of stuff in storage. So I don't mind helping people. But it's aggravating having to take time out of my day to deal with them. But beyond that, it's okay. My truck still has its little issues. I'm not sure what was going on. I was driving it one day, it died. I was almost where I was going, it just flat out died. And it would crank, but it wouldn't start. Couldn't figure it out. Fought with it for a while and just kept playing with it, and finally it just decided to start. But a couple of days later, I was helping another friend out at one of his properties, or his mom's properties, whatever, that he was working at. I was there doing some touch-up painting for him, but he needed to borrow my truck so he could run to Home Depot and pick up some bigger stuff that he couldn't fit in his car. So I went ahead and let him use the truck. He comes back, parks the truck in the street, double parks because there's nowhere right there, unloads the big stuff for the apartment that he's working on, and goes start the truck to go park it, and it does the same thing. It cranks and cranks, but it won't start. I go out there and I'm messing with it, trying to figure it out, and finally, for some reason, I turned the key on, pulled it out of park, slapped it back up into park from first, did that twice, hit the key, and it fired right up, started right up. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I suspect my ignition switch has gone bad, or starting to go bad. I have another switch. I got to put it on. That's going to be a video to do, and I will post the video of that. But yeah, the stuff I see though, and the stuff I deal with, I've got quite a bit of work to do on the truck. So it's going to be video as much as I can and go from there. Right now I have my second computer for down here sitting upstairs. I'm not too fond of that, but I really need to have a computer up there, and I was thinking about keeping that desktop put upstairs. So I was hearing a little weird noise, and I realized it was my chair. When I moved it a little bit side to side, it was kind of whistling noise, a real quiet whistle, like you know those chickens you squeeze, those squeezy chickens that whistle, and it sounds like one of those, but it's really quiet. So, but yeah, now I've got to fix the do some work with the DVRs up there and get those up and running, because right now the DVR we have up there, it has its issues. I've got to get a new fan motor for it, because that fan motor is screaming. It's getting loud because bearing's going out. Well, what do you think's going to happen when it runs full tilt 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? But I'm going to take the DVR I have down here, I'm going to move it up there. At the same time, I'll probably take the cable going for the camera that goes up to the front of the building. I'll probably move it up there and only have the downstairs cameras. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. It's just a temporary setup. But I got a nice little TV stand, but we'll never use it as a TV stand. It's just going to be having the DVR put on while it's up there. So, step at a time, we're fixing it up, making it look good. But at the same time, I think while I'm doing all my work down here with this computer, what I'll do is I'll move my tower that's up here on my desktop, move it into this little cubby hole where the other one was. And problem is the VGA cable isn't long enough for that. So I have this, it's a two-part thing. Okay, let's see if I got the both parts here. I know I've got both parts, but okay, each one has gain, I guess. Okay, yeah. So got 4 of them, I guess. Yeah, I've got 4 of these. Now what this does is allows me to take a short VGA cable, hook it up with an Ethernet cable in there, and what it'll do is it'll transmit the signal a longer distance. So I could have my monitor 100 feet from my computer and still be able to connect to it if I want to, which I'm not going to do that. But these all say receive. I know I've got the other part for it, that's the transmitter. You just got to find it. Is it maybe? I grab a bunch of them. Yeah, there we go. This is it. Okay, this is the receiving part. It requires a power supply. This is what sends out the signal, and then these receive. So I can have multiple monitors hooked up using a router, but I only want one monitor, so I can set these up like this. Crazy how they do it, though. Anyway, I will be doing that soon, probably, because I really don't like having this tower sitting on my desk. But the cord isn't very long, so I'm stuck with what I have until then. I want to get a lot of cleaning done here pretty soon. I've got so much stuff to do and not enough time to do it. But hey, what can you say? For now, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful week, and stay safe out there. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and spread the word about my channel. Thank you very much.